So what was that all about? That was the solution that the government has been talking about, and the Prime Minister also, that perhaps the solution is more e-payments, use new technology, use digital payment methods, and that was a primer on what some of the possible solutions and options are and how you can use them to actually make a payment and perhaps even get around the payday question. And for more on this, we're being joined by Mr. A.P. Hota, who is in a sense the man of the moment. He is the Managing Director of the National Payment Corporation of India, which is working out all these e-payment options. Mr. Hota, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Many people get how to use some of the applications for smartphones. You download an app, Paytm or Freecharge or whatever, and you're up and running. But the idea behind something like UPI, which you are working on, is that everyone should be able to use it, even if they don't have one of those fancy apps. Could you tell us a little bit about it? How is this going to actually work?
For the mobile payment, there are two strategies. One for the smartphone strategy, another is for the feature phone strategy. In the country, there is 2/3 of the phones are feature phones. In the rural areas, in the working, in the working class, in the, many of them have the feature phones. But the smartphones are with really, at the moment about 350 million in the country. And as of now, this UPI is a smartphone-based mobile banking application, whereby the customer of customer of the participating UPI bank. Currently, there are 30 participating UPI bank. So customers of the 30 participating UPI bank can download the application of any bank. And 20 banks have really put out their application in the Google Play Store.
Right. So
one has to really from the Google, go to the Play Store and write search for UPI app.
Right. So, Mr. Hota, I get how it could work for a smartphone, and many people will be able to figure it out. You download the app and you use it. But as you yourself said, most people, and especially the poor, and let's remember, it's the poor in particular who are being affected by the cash crisis. Now, they don't have smartphones. They have simpler, basic phones, which are also called feature phones. So what can they do? How do they use this technology that you're building?
So for feature phone, it is pretty easy. No application download required. And in the feature phone, there are 51 banks who are already participants. All public sector banks are participants. All public sector banks. All major private banks are participants. And the customer has to just dial *99#. In like fire and police 100 and 101, similarly the 99 has been taken as a service code. Star is available on all, whenever your dialing screen comes, star is available, hash is available, *99#. And it would ask, which bank's customer are you? So the customer has to say in a short abbreviated name of the bank, like SBI or like ICICI or HDF. So the customer really then gets a menu. Menu is balance inquiry, the mini statement, and send money. So under send money, the moment person one chooses, then it would ask for what is the beneficiary account number and IFSC code.
Okay.
This can be also given by way of send money by way of the mobile number and MMID, or by Aadhaar number. So there are 3 ways the beneficiary can be identified by the *99#.
So *99#, that's a way that somebody with a really old phone which can't be used, so some of those technologies which of course they have a smartphone, but using that can be done by anybody, and that's perhaps helpful for a lot of people who don't have a fancy phone. So how long do you think it is before we can actually spread e-payments to everybody in the country? Right now, a very small fraction, 5 to 10% must be using it. I think the government wants you to spread it to everyone, all 1.3 billion people. How long before that's possible?
No, I suppose the moment from now it is 90% cash and 10% digital. And when we say digital, it includes cards, mobile, internet, IVR. These are the really channels of or the wallets. These are the channels of electronic payments. So 90% of the cash. So if I would feel in the next 3 months time, if we really come to about 70%, 60 or 70% electronic and 30% cash, that itself is a mammoth job. What has not been done in really possibly what, from moving from 5% electronic to 10% electronic, possibly we would have really taken 7 to 8 years. And if we really do this thing in 3 months time, moving the percentage to even 50%, I would say we have done a creditable job. So it is quite a tremendous task.
All right, Mr. Hota. So thanks a lot for joining us.